Welcome back. It feels like you've never been gone. Hey, just a little message of welcome back to What's on Your Mind. Hey, it's your old pal, Tony Gambello. You know, Anthony S. It's good to hear you fellas again. Welcome back to the Super Eras Airy Brothers. And I hope this year we get to enjoy the Hans Show, Mark Weber, and the co-hostess with the co-mostess, Joe, and even Phil. I'm playing. It's always good to hear all of you, and I hope everybody's doing well. Worried for a little bit that you might have been replaced, like, Seymour Pete Fine over here trying to muscle in on a little action. Or maybe that you were out there in the back having to peel some potatoes. You know, some things never change in this man's army. Anyway, welcome back. Here from me, your old pal Tony. And I'll catch you next time, innit?
Good evening, everybody. It's Wednesday night. It's 9 p.m. It's time for the What's on Joe Mind TeamStream. I'm your host, Mike Irizarry. How's everybody doing?
I had no idea that Lodi, California was Brooklyn adjacent.
Right. I mean, look, I have been after people for 3 years now. Leave us a voicemail. We have a voice line set up. We will play your message on the show. And not only did somebody finally do that, but they did shtick. So I don't know who that is. I don't know who that's from. I don't know which you glorious bastards is responsible for that, but it made my week. For whatever reason, it took a long time to get through. Like, I only received that last week, and it was clearly sent much earlier than that. So I apologize for taking so long to get that to air. But once it was there, I was like, I gotta at least put some photos with this one. So, yeah, my limited video production abilities on full display, but thank you so much again. Shtick, can you beat? I can't beat free shtick. But joining me here in the top row, it's Free Comic Book Day, so you know he's in a good mood. It's rack time, Rob.
It's New Comic Day. They're not free.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said one thing and meant the other.
Big difference.
Although compared to last week, this week felt like free. Hi.
We'll give everybody the lowdown. As any of you who are in the Midwest tonight know, it's raining cats and dogs behind that window right over there. So here in Indianapolis, we are kind of on the very edge of the problem area. We have had the lights flicker tonight, so be ready. This one could get exciting. If you are in the way of the killer tornado storms, we'll be there later. Go get in your freaking basement. There's nothing going on that's so important that you need to be out here doing this fool stuff. But joining us also from well out of the weather's harmful path, from Grindstone Toys, Troy McKee is on the program.
Hey, everybody, how we doing?
Protected by mountains.
Rob's too good to applaud you, Troy, but you always knew he was kind of an ass.
I'm just Ed McMahon over here. We're just going, yeah.
You are correct, sir. So, Troy, what gives, man? You're clearly in the bunker.
Yeah, I'm just here doing my thing. It's one of those nights, you know. Mike asked me to be on What's on Joe Mind. My wife tells me to get somewhere where she doesn't have to hear it. So I'm
Are we that low on Lena's list? Are we that bad?
You know we are.
I thought we got along well at Assembly Required, Troy.
you know, looks can be deceiving, Mike.
I behaved.
Mike left his usual first impression, I see.
No, wouldn't that's no first impression. Come on.
No.
No, we've met the lovely Mrs. McKee on many, many occasions. So I'm hurt. Tell her I'm hurt.
I will.
I am distraught and hurt.
I'm going to tell her she hurt your feelings. She's not going to have any idea we had this conversation. She's going to be very confused. It's going to be great.
Right. Other lesser shows may not be hurt by that, but this one, we're the show that cares, Troy. We're the show that cares. Tell her
it's not so much that he's angry; he's disappointed.
Yeah, that is it. I'm not angry at all. I am all just disappointed. So it was funny. We were leading up to this, and I said to Troy, "Hey, are you interested in coming on the show this week?" And he was acting kind of like he had just been on. And it was like, Troy, like we were gone for 2 months, man. You haven't been on since last year. You have the hot property that we expect will be in our hot little hands at some point later this year. Don't we want to warm the crowd up for that? And he was like, kind of. I was like, I'll give you $5. And he was like, okay, I'm in.
Price is right.
That's all it took, $5.
Mr. Lincoln says hello.
Dave McDonald says everything is important here. What's on Joe Mind is the heartbeat of the Joe community. Great. We appreciate that, Dave. Get more of your friends to subscribe is all I'm saying. If you haven't by now, and the statistics say that 30% of you who watch us every week aren't, go ahead, hit those buttons that are down there below Troy. I promise you will not giggle when you do that. That would just make it weird. But like and subscribe, do all the cool YouTube stuff. Leave a big boy comment down below. You never know. The live chat is nice, but it is by no means permanent. So get your voice heard down below in the big comments down there. If you're catching us on the Facebook this evening, do something over there to move the algorithm along. Give us a heart, give us a thumbs up, give us a little huggy guy. We do love little huggy guy. Somebody's giving us a little huggy guy already. Doug Dello's over there giving us a little huggy guy. So can't beat that, man. Little huggy guy's the best. Surveillance Port likes turtles. Excellent. Excellent. He's just chiming in because we get him a plug later in the show. But so Troy, besides what we're going to talk about later, what you been doing with yourself the last 4 months?
Mostly just what we're going to talk about later.
Really? That good?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
The only problem is we don't know what we're going to do now. So,
Right. Fair enough. But we did have a Wednesday news drop, which is, of course, my favorite thing in the world. I love it when Hasbro pushes things out on the day that I have to prep a show. Granted, because most of the time, show prep, I work the first half of the week. So most of the time, show prep is done. If the show's on Wednesday now, Monday night is usually really the last time I'm adding show prep. Gives me some flex time in case I missed something or want to make a touch up to a graphic or feel like sleeping, things like that. But no, we had full on news drop today. So what do you say we get to the news?
Woohoo!
All right. See, 10 minutes and we're into the news. If Mark is watching, and we know he's not, he wouldn't even recognize it 10 minutes before we get to the news.
He and I still hold the record for the fastest episode, right?
Oh, easily, yeah.
Yeah, that was a quick one.
Yeah, that was brisk. That was brisk. That was a heck of an audition tape for guest hosting, Troy. We're going to run you in and out of there so fast, people won't even know the show happened. Like, as it is, our live viewer count's a little low. I'm guessing because they're expecting that we're just still not talking about anything that's that important. We'll catch on about the half-hour mark. That's when it starts. That's when business starts to pick up. Anyways, first news item. You were going to say, Troy, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're good.
All right. Well, this is it, folks. This is the last weekend for Roma Collectibles, the toy store out there in Springfield, Ohio. Those hours are incorrect. They're actually running extended hours on Saturday and Sunday, I believe. You check them out on Facebook to find out for sure. But I believe Friday or Saturday and Sunday, rather, they'll be open until 7 p.m. I think Sarah's running some kind of sale. I think 10% or 20% or something. Again, you'll have to check out their Facebook page. It's probably been since last week that I did that. But again, this is the last weekend. So if you're anywhere within a couple hours drive of Springfield, Ohio, and chances are many of you are, you're probably hiding in your basement right now. But once the rubble is cleared, get yourself to Roma Collectibles, the toy store, and visit them on their final weekend as a standalone store. Mm. Next news item. Hey, it's time for a Kickstarter minute. That's right. Toy Collector's Wish Book Special Edition G.I. Joe is open now. They are accepting pledges through April 16th at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So get yourself through tax day, basically. It's already funded, so you can pledge with confidence on this one. But the Toy Collector's Wish Book folks, they've done a few volumes already with smaller lines. They're dedicating this entire big old book to G.I. Joe from 82 to 94. We talked about it a little bit more in depth with Carson last week because a lot of his images are being used in the book. So check out last week's episode if you want to get really in on the nitty gritty for this one. But again, it is already, it's pledged up. It is maxed out. They're doing stretch goals and things like that at this point. Rack Time Rob, do you have a total on this one?
Oh, let's see here.
Oh, no, he doesn't. Never mind. Anyways, it's 100%. It's well over 100%. So go ahead and check it out. Pledge with confidence. The Toy Collector's Wish Book, Special Edition, G.I. Joe. Was that enough time, Rob, or did you give up?
Here we go. No, I got it. Sorry, things are going a little bit slow here. Oh yeah, they've funded this thing twice over.
Right.
$82,608 off a goal of $40,000.
I was about to give you the fill music.
Oh hey.
All right. I got to the horns once. I'm good. And while we're on Kickstarter, next news item. Well, it's not technically Kickstarter. G.I. Joe Operation Cobra is still funding, or rather, still taking pledges over on GameFound. Talk about going crazy with the pledges. This is going until April 7th. I'm not sure exactly what time of day on that. So make sure if you're interested here, get into on April 6th. This is a miniature game. It is similar to Operation Critical that Renegade Game Studio was publishing until really like last week. Oh, great. Tornado sirens going off. Thrilling. All right.
Let's do a weather update.
Yeah.
Duck and cover.
I'm surprised nothing flashed on my phone.
Well, it is technically not for our county, so
okay.
That's why it didn't go off, but it's somewhat nearby. So yeah, that might change within a few minutes. Who knows? Anyways, Try to ignore the big siren in the background. Gotta love live television, folks. Head over to GameFound, search for G.I. Joe Operation Cobra. It'll give you all the details. Here, too, they are so over the top on their pledges. They're unlocking stretch goals, bonus pieces, and extra sets, and all kinds of good stuff are available to you. This one funded in just over a half an hour, and it's been going for a couple of weeks. So if you're into the tabletop gaming scene, go ahead and get yourself in on OC Games, G.I. Joe Operation Cobra. Dave McDonald asks, which G.I. Joe will you take to the shelter with you? Well, I mean, that's a dumb question.
100-something beachheads.
Right. They're all in a nice big tub, all on their own. I got a few extras here. You have some friends. So, got a few. But, yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Doug Dello notes 552,000 plus with 1,989 backers. So, yeah, that one's well on its way to getting done. There to pledge with confidence. Next news item. Man, oh man, a Chevette, Silent Bob. All right. Also open for pre-orders. Iron Studios has this nifty 1/10 scale Flint statue. There's Rob's phone.
There's my phone going off.
Awesome. This is good stuff. Oh. So for another 7 minutes, I'm under tornado warning, everybody. How's that? How about that one?
I have it till 9:45.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Aren't you special? At least the siren's turning off. But you got this cool Flint statue. You can't really see the details here, so be sure to check it out at ironstudios.com. But there's a neat Dreadnoks graphic on the wall there, like graffiti. Got the gunfire bearing down on Flint. He's got that smoke grenade going off at his feet. It's cool stuff. If you're into the statues, this is worth checking out. This is going to be available in summer this year. It is $199.99. $40 of that is going to be a non-refundable deposit. So check it out at ironstudios.com. It's right on the front page. You shouldn't have any trouble finding it past that. All right. All right. Fantastic.
Yeah. Bart in the comments wondering what he missed.
I mean, we are apparently on our way to Oz, Bart.
Yes. Apparently our imminent demise. You're here on a good night, Troy.
Oh man.
Andrew Duggan, what's on Joe Mine Wednesday?
Those Rudy slippers.
The most dangerous night of television. That's right.
We may be coming to visit you soon because that's where we'll land.
Uh-huh. All right. Tornado warning in this area until 9:45 p.m. Take shelter now in a basement or interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. You're outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle. Move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Check media. Good times. Good times. Good times. Next news item. There we go. Hey, today's big news reveal were digital renders that the G.I. Joe team put up on Facebook. You can see there's Monkey Wrench and what is going to be, I presume, Retro Major Blood. Phil Donnelly. This stream is going well. Yeah, it sure is. And also up were the Armored Cobra Commander with his lizard pal. The Cobra Claw and the pilot we've seen before. We also got to see Hockey Snake Eyes one more time, which I didn't bother with Hockey Snake Eyes because we just saw him 2 weeks ago. Surveillance Port chiming in. Major Blood isn't retro, just an updated pinless design. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Joe ARAH asks, can someone explain the monkey wrench mask? I'm just guessing it's a cool piece of battle paraphernalia. It looks like it's connected to his hair, so you can just swap it out like you did with Shipwreck. Shipwreck had the hair piece and then the other hair piece that had the hat. So this kind of hits me as something along those lines. Surveillance Port notes that it's fascinating to read posts where so many know-it-alls don't know that the iguana is Serpentor. And yeah, I just assume that most folks haven't watched the Deke cartoon. But to give everyone an idea, they are showing the Northern Indianapolis Metro on the Weather Channel, and the camera is out. They're on audio only.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah, it's good times.
Sounds like Indianapolis.
Or
Yeah,
what's left of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good times. So it's funny that they made Cobra Commander the snake, but Serpentor, the guy with serpent in his name, he was an iguana. But yeah, Doug Dello notes that, yes, the post even mentioned that was Serpent. I know.
But people don't read.
Exactly. That was like you had to click the little more button to get to that part. So, Andrew Galgan asks, was there a retail price given for the Cobra Claw? Not that I saw, but I admittedly didn't look too hard. Dennis Fleming notes, hi all, am I late? Yeah, a little bit, but that's okay. Just so you know, all right. Tornado sighted in the southern part of town, Rob.
All right. That's not us, is it?
No. Southern part of our town.
Yeah, I know. That's not us.
No, we're the northern part of town. So, but
yeah, well, the sirens wouldn't have gone off unless they'd seen something. So.
right, well, I know, but you know, usually they'll go off if they see something a little ways away. Usually not right on top of us. Anyways, good times. Good times. We have no basement. We have no interior room, so we're kind of stuck. I guess.
It'd be just like in school. They'll have you guys go stand or sit in the hallway, sit down.
Yeah, yep. Head down. Yeah.
Our arms folded, head down.
Yep.
Heads between our legs so we can kiss our butts goodbye.
Right. It's good times. It's good times. The rain's really picked up, and again, I'm not even looking out the window. But as Bart says, as Mike sits next to it, I know, right?
Yeah.
Stop reminding me of my mortality, Bart. Come on now. But that's the long and short of the digital renders. Again, these are all over the place by now. We've got them up on our social media. You can check them out there. You can check out Hasbro's social media because this was the big news for today. Digital renders of characters that we already knew were coming. Here's our siren again.
Yep.
So by all means, gentlemen, discuss which of these are you looking forward to the most as I try to glean details from the television.
The claw looks a little bit more zhuzhed up than I was, than the previous renders. So I'm kind of liking that.
Yeah, I like the claw. I like Monkey Wrench too. I like Battle Armor Cobra Commander. Okay, but it's never been my favorite version of Cobra Commander. So I'm on that one.
Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm a little disappointed that it didn't come with a Fred head.
Yep.
I would have liked to see a Fred head. But...
they went Deke on us here. It's Cobra Commander with the iguana, and then the spare head there has the scaly skinned eyes like he had on the first episode of the Deke cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I that Battle Armor Cobra Commander, he's kind of one of the big holes to this point. So I'm pretty happy to see him getting filled. Like that's an important character. It's an important representation of the character, regardless of how he plays out in your headcanon. So I'm glad to see him finally get a figure. Surveillance Port notes that even I'm excited for paintball Snake Eyes, and then changes that to airsoft Snake Eyes. I always called him hockey Snake Eyes.
Yeah, goalie Snake Eyes.
Awesome. 13 minutes. 13 minutes till we die.
Or we don't.
Or, well, actually, it's 13 minutes till we don't.
Yeah.
Anytime in the next 13 minutes, we could be gone.
But once you make it past that, you're good.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
So if power goes out, everybody, we're fine. We're just heading towards the interior of the building.
The hallway.
So, Surveillance Port, Eric notes, it's taken you 13 minutes to cover 5 slides. Look, man, that's way ahead of pace. So
yeah.
Shut up, man.
I mean, in the past, we'd still be cracking about, KY jokes about, Kentucky G.I. Joe show.
Right. Troy, if we lose power tonight, we'll have you back. So,
okay.
Don't worry about that. Moving forward, next news item.
Hey,
we had some fun with Skybound today. If you were at your local comic shop before it blew away, you could have picked up Real American Hero Special Missions Edition 21. That's the reprint of the classic Silent Interlude from 1984, 3. I don't know.
It was kind of like right around 83, 84.
But that was available today, along with its 15 or 16 variant covers. Good luck with that, superfan Josh Eggebean. And while we're also at the comic shop today, we also get to look at this, this long-awaited, wonderful piece of work. Special Missions Beachhead, written and penciled by the great Phil Hester, himself a longtime Joe fan. But that is available today at your local comic shop. That's just hail hitting. That's not the wind approaching us with its icy death fingers. Jake Rose says, Beachhead said what? He didn't say anything. It's a silent book.
That's right.
The first of the Silent Mission series that is coming out every week this month from Skybound Publishing. Next week is the 9th, and that is going to give us Special Missions or Silent Missions Jinx, written by Danny and Dan Waters, pencils by Danny. And again, that's next week. I like the cover on that. That's pretty cool, decoed out. Jeff Butler, please make sure to leave a big boy comment on the What's on Joe Mind Memorial Show. Yeah, we're planning to, Jeff. We're planning to. But yeah, it's good stuff as the siren continues to blare. We're going to the podcasting Hall of Fame on this one, aren't we?
More news as it happens. By the way, the G.I. Joe issue 21, a cover date of March 1984, which meant it probably went on sale in December of 1983.
All right. Michael Gene Fleming coming in late. Hope I didn't miss anything too important. Now, I would say if something important was going to happen, you're about 3 minutes early. Oh my God. This is what not to do. This is the exact opposite of what we told everybody to do at the beginning of the show, but we don't have anywhere else to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we live in an apartment. So
at least we're on the ground floor.
Joe ARAH says every time Mike looks to the side, I get nervous. Like, here we go.
I'm doing that same thing every time he looks over. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Me too. Me too, Joe. Me too. Every time I'm kind of forcing myself to stay back this way. Oh my God. And then finally with Skybound, we got some bits. Also next week, Transformers 19. Starscream looks like he's pretty happy on the cover, I believe. So that'll be something. And then on April 16th, which is 2 weeks from today, Silent Mission Spirit and Energon Universe G.I. Joe number 6, the conclusion of that first story arc, hits your stands in just 2 weeks.
Have you read issue 5, guys? It's a doozy.
Yeah. Issue 5 is kind of balls to the wall. So either it's going to completely settle down and be a totally chill kind of issue, or it's just going to escalate. And I'm going to guess from where the last page of issue 5 is, it's only going to escalate.
Yeah.
So keep that on your pull lists from Skybound Publishing. Sorry, guys. I have to keep looking at the weather. I apologize. Ragtime Rob, do you have anything that you need to say about Skybound's books?
Gee, I hope I get to read these.
You know what? I have this right here. I'm gonna find with the bag from the comic book store that I have last week's G.I. Joe 314. I guess that's last month. I'm just gonna go ahead and slide it in there for when the rain eventually crashes through the window so it doesn't get soaked.
Yeah. You know, I'm not going to be able to hear that freight train noise, that they tell you to watch out for with the sirens going on.
Look, so long as you're hearing sirens, that means the freight train noise isn't happening.
Yeah.
Right? Right?
I think you want to tell me or the audience before we get smited.
Right. Or is it smote?
Yeah. Oh, the Lord is vengeful.
Right. Again, if we lose power, we're fine.
Yeah.
Until
maybe
further notice. Gunny's out here bragging about what he's been through. Dude, we've lived in Indiana too long. One tornado? Come on, man. That's minor league. That's bush league, sir. That's what one tornado is like. This is two in the last 2 weeks. Anyways, next news item. Oh. Hey, it's another sale at the What's on Joe Mind swag shop on TeePublic. That is happening starting tomorrow through April 6th. You'll save up to 35% on tees and everything site-wide. You can get our wonderful designs on sweatshirts, mugs, magnets, stickers, caps, and more. Link is down below in the description. We even got a call sign Longbow t-shirt. I think Mr. Pittsburgh has one, and he might be it. But in fairness, it's a big ask to ask people to run around in a t-shirt that says "thicken the crotch" with an arrow pointing straight down. So
classy,
right? That's Troy McKee approved, by the way. I ran that past him before I put it together. Said, "Hey,
officially licensed. Yep.
Do you mind if we do this?" And he was like, "Yeah, let's do it." we'll sell one to Mr. Pittsburgh, and that'll be it. Here we go. There's the crawl, the official crawl. Call sign Longbow. Thick in a crotch, bro. Oh,
Glad we could get that out one last time.
right. Yeah, you know, you'd think that this is probably the one. Tornado Cast 2025. Oh my! Like my part of my brain is already hard at work at the replacement thumbnail I'm gonna have. It'll just be a weather map with little twisters on it with the "What's on Joe Mine" logo. Oh. Dak Nomad says, "Wow, we just went low def."
Ooh.
Hey, the siren's off.
Is your 13 minutes over? Are you safe?
And we got 3 minutes left.
It's yeah, they extended it to 10:15, but according to the map, the cell that produced the storm that made those sirens go off is past us. Knock on plastic countertop.
Mm.
So if you had us dying in the death pool tonight, you're probably out money. You're Troy.
Always such a risk.
Yeah, well, you know, it's one of those bets you just keep placing money on it because it's going to come up eventually. So,
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I know it's going to pay eventually.
Yeah.
Steve Young asks, or did the siren bite it? You know, good questions.
Yeah.
Good question.
In the morning, we'll see the siren as part of the twisted debris.
Right, there'll be some big ass bullhorn looking thing on the front, like it just fell off the top of the Bluesmobile.
Probably all the way through my windshield, something like that. You know.
Hey, it means you're not going to work.
Yeah.
Ah,
True. Sorry, I got to file insurance claims. Hey, that means spring break starts a day early.
yeah. Yeah, I think we are officially in the clear at this point.
Alrighty.
So, thanks to everybody who bet they live. You guys are the big winners tonight, along with us, because we live.
Yeah.
And if you're one of the big losers like Troy, screw off.
And I think Phil's got the right idea.
Right. Phil Donnelly chiming in with famous last words. Clearly,
Not over until it's over.
somebody doesn't like the guest hosting gig, so I mean, whatever.
Look, you have been abusing poor so much. I wouldn't be surprised if he's heavy into the death side with Troy.
Phil and I are in contact most weeks 2 or 3 times.
I know.
So yes, I tease Phil relentlessly, but I
It's not personal for me like it is for Phil, though.
Yeah.
Me, this is just an investment, right?
I think that in every group of friends, there's just a pecking order on who gets picked on, right? And Troy, you're just a lot higher on that list than Phil is. Like, Phil's just the guy who gets teased, right? There's just some guys who are that. In high school, it was my friend Andrew, and like, we didn't do terrible things to him. He was just the guy that got abused. He's the smartest man I have ever met. Okay, I am not exaggerating. This man is brilliant. His name is on the discovery of some amino acids that are in our body, meaning the team that he was working on as a graduate student discovered things in us that nobody knew were there before. He's that brilliant, and he's still the guy who we just whack with a 2x4 every time we see him.
Yeah. Meantime, like I said, I would not blame Phil if he's on Iowa State's homepage right now buying pennants that say "Go Cyclones."
Oh my God! Yeah, we are officially, we're almost off the Weather Channel's map at this point.
Oh man,
So if it's officially, it's a come from behind victory if the tornado gets us now.
Jim Cantor will not be knocking at our door and saying,
No,
"Hey, how
no.
was it?"
Josiah Alcorn says, "No, I've seen you on other podcasts. You pick on everybody. I was pretty rough on our boy Ray Stacanis. I love Ray. Ray's a good man, but man, he's the guy. He's the guy. He's the guy." Yeah, Eric on Surveillance Port notes that a Sergeant Slaughter image just leaked. He would know, man. That's where I go for all my leaked images. So be sure when we're done here tonight, you're heading over to the Surveillance Port at surveillance-port.com for all of your pre-production photos. There's the plug, Eric. There's that's what you were so worried about. We do this every week, man, because we're a good partner. Firefly says, sorry I'm quiet in the chat, kids, trying to help the wife make a roux. And that is truly the most non sequitur statement we have had so far this evening.
No, but that is tricky because, a good roux is normally 15 seconds away from being black crap. It's going to take you an hour to scrub out of your pan.
Right. Right. Roux are difficult. And I'm waiting for Surveillance Port to maybe send that over, but but my Facebook chat is quiet.
Let's see if maybe I can't. Does he have it up?
I don't know. I can't really surf the net while I'm running the show.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and see if I can find it.
It tends to shut things down. But next news item. Oh yeah, okay. That was just timed well. Timed well, surveillanceport.com. That's the end of the news. Sorry we didn't get much news discussion in there. But we thought there was a solid, better than average chance that we were going to die. So we kind of just decided, what the hell, let's get the news done. Let's at least go out on top. Let's be productive about it. Oh, I'm going to keep looking over at the TV because that's the responsible thing to do. Okay.
So unsettling.
It's the responsible thing to do. TV's not even on. Normally it's just off. But tonight it was like, you know what? Should probably keep the TV on, if nothing else, just to stay sane. To know that the tornado is not coming right in your window. And it turns out the tornado almost came in my window. But whatever. Anyways, G.I. Joe 3D Printing Podcast is proud to present Chunky Tank Kitty and his Meowler Tank. Be sure to catch them most Sundays as Mike, Mark, and Archwan talk about the ins and outs of 3D printing and the hobby at large. If you like what's on Joe Mind, you'll love the G.I. Joe 3D Printing Podcast. It's kind of like us, only well-mannered and with 3D printing.
So not like us at all.
Yeah. I mean, we're at least pleasant. I give us that. Yeah. But yeah, not really like us. The Gunny asks, are you a 4-bit slime show now? Look, man, we struggle just to keep it at 2. Some nights, some weeks we slip back to just being a 1-bit slime show.
We're trying to keep our prices low for you, consumer.
Right. Inflation is everywhere. But it's still just a 2-bit slime show with What's on Joe Mind. Joe ARAH notes, What's on Joe Mind, Tornado Cast 2025, quote, it's so unsettling.
Jarring.
For a real-life thrill ride, damn it. Oh, my God. This is the point where the tiredness sets in from the adrenaline being done. I'm all right. I'm all right. But yeah, Chunky Tag Kitty. How about that?
He looks like he's ready to fight a tornado.
You know what? He hears those sirens going off, and he ain't hiding under the bed.
He's got a tank.
Yeah, fuck that noise. He's got a tank. Anyways, that's the news. I'll find the news bumper eventually.
It blew away.
It may have. We'll be right back after a quick word from our wonderful friends and sponsors at Kokomo Toys.
We buy, sell, and trade vintage and modern toys. G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Transformers, Marvel, DC, and more. Located in beautiful downtown Kokomo, Indiana, we are open every Wednesday through Saturday from 12 to 5. It's a theme park of nostalgia. Join the thousands of people who have traveled from all over the Midwest for over a decade to buy and sell with us. Get your geek on.
All right, great googly moogly. If you're in Eastern Indiana or Kentucky, well,
Hold on to your socks.
Batten down the hatches. It's coming. Not to make light, but wow, that was loud. That was really loud. I was underselling the loud. If I can hear anything through these Princess Leia muffin earphones here, it means it's going at a pretty good clip, and I heard an awful lot coming through those headphones.
I think we can officially call them cans.
God only knows what kind of audio this thing was picking up, but we may have one for the ages there.
Not bad.
Sure, we'll go with it. Troy McKee, we've got your crawl going on the bottom of the screen because call sign Longbow is thick in the crotch. But it's been a solid 4 months since we had you on the show. Lots has happened since then. Tell us about it.
So let's see. Trying to think how far back the last time we were on it was that had we delivered Ghost already?
Yes. We've had Ghost.
We delivered Ghost, but we hadn't announced at that time that he had glow in the dark paint. Because we saved that and we did that on Christmas.
All right.
So we've shared that. We've gotten some test shots. And I do have some pictures here. Give me just a second. I could share anything on my computer, but I think that's a trap.
You can. You have to hit go to the little present button at the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, no, I meant you wanted me to share way more.
Yeah, you share what you want, man. You got those family slides from your trip to Disney? Whatever.
Uh-huh.
You're the guest. I'll be enthralled. I love vacation slides.
So yeah, so are you guys seeing figures?
Yes.
We are seeing figures. Look at that.
Awesome. So we got first shots of the next 6 figures that we're expecting from the factory. We got Lancer, Uptown, Outlaw, Spetsnaz, Volk, and Krosny Ninja. So we've got some pictures here of those. Here's the Krosny Ninja. Obviously these are not final colors, but just kind of to show you how the accessories are going to look. For anybody that's not familiar, what test shots, or in this case, the first shots, is the factory, after they make steel tooling for the figure, will run these and then send them to us, and we have the opportunity to make revisions on them. So they send them to us, and we identify if there's any problems with the way that the parts fit together, or if any of the details aren't right, or basically if there's any problems with it. This is our opportunity to fix that, make sure things are sized properly, make sure all the accessories work the way we expect. So like here...
I just want to go, before you get too far into this guy here, Troy,
yep.
I just want to take this moment to once again publicly express my love for the Krosny Ninja.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
With his sickles and
furry
his
hat.
giant ass hammer. My God, I love him. I love him.
Yeah, we're very happy with how that one has turned out. Like I was saying here, though, with Outlaw, one of the issues that we identified here is his gas mask is a little big. So we've asked the factory to revise that, to make some changes. And that's really what this part of the process is for, is to make sure that we get things right before they kick things into production, right? So here's that Krosney Ninja again. We've got Uptown there without his helmet. Again, we're testing the fit, we're testing the motion. Do the parts, like in this case, do the parts move as far as we want them to move? Are we getting the articulation we want out of it? This is just our opportunity to check things. Here's the Spetsnaz Trooper. Now, we did not get a separate first shot of Volk because he reuses the same body and the same gear. So we got this guy, and then we got a Volk head to go with it. But but they're the same. So if we fix the problems on one, it'll be fixed on the other. So, but again, we're just making sure that everything is the way we want it. Here's another shot. Here's the Krosney Ninja with Lancer. You can see on Lancer's backpack the little forks to hold the machete. That's another thing that we had him make some adjustments on to make sure that the knives and the machete there fit properly in the backpack, that it's not too loose. We've also got on the Krosney Ninja's back, we've got a place where the sledgehammer can kind of peg into the back. That's a difficult fit because there's not like an actual peg on that hammer.
Right.
So we asked him to tighten that up a little bit. We're not sure how that's going to turn out in the end, but we're going to give it a shot because it looks really cool.
That's got to be tough to jump around all ninja style with a big old hammer strapped to your back.
It is. I would assume it's very difficult. Here's Uptown again with his helmet this time and a better detail shot of Lancer's backpack. And then here's just a group shot of them with Ghost. So you can see, size wise, that they all kind of match. At this point, when we revised these, the sculpting detail all looked real good. We didn't have any notes about that. Mostly what we had notes about were the way that the parts fit together. There when we do first shots, there's little gaps between, the front and the back of the torso, or the inside and the outside part of the thighs, or whatever it might be. So we asked the factory to revise those, and they're working on that right now.
Excellent. The process is working.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's a normal part of the process. Really, every figure goes through that, and sometimes multiple rounds of that. Like I said, it's really to make sure that we get things right before full-blown production starts, because once they get going, there's no stopping them. And as small as the runs are, especially for like Kickstarter projects, by the time they start the process, if you were to ever catch anything, they're done by the time you caught something.
Right.
If production has already started. So this is a really important part because we want to make sure everything's squared away before they get to that.
Right.
Yeah. So,
and you do have your man on the ground.
Yep. Yeah, we've got our factory partners, Dave Proctor's, kind of overseeing things. I got some more pictures here. I just didn't know if they were in order, so I didn't want to jump around here. Give me just a second.
I guess. I suppose. Gives me a chance to look over at the Doom device.
Yeah. You keep looking over there. Share the entire screen. That's weird. It won't let me share. Screen sharing was canceled. Make sure you click share. Screen share. Share screen. Share entire screen. And that share button is grayed out.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go. I'm just not smart enough to run it. So here's a picture of some of the parts as they've come out of the tool. So this is before they're assembled.
And apparently some of the adult parts.
Yeah,
those are the extra thick in the crotch parts.
That's right.
They're blocked out.
Yeah, and there's a couple of things there that we're not ready to show yet, where we've co-tooled things for the future. So we've got those blocked out there, but you can see, how some of these parts come out and how, the upper arms come in pairs, which makes sense. You don't want to be making like an odd number of things. You want even amounts of everything that's supposed to come in an even amount. So
Jake Rose with a good question here, Troy.
Yep.
Do revisions equal new sculpts or molds, and how much does that cost?
It depends what the problem is. If it's a fit issue like that, it does not require a new mold. It requires modifying the mold that's there. So that is probably not an additional cost, but unfortunately it means additional time, which we're very aware of, and we're trying to move things along. But at the same time, we don't want to not fix something because of that.
Oh, I was going Inception on that one, Troy. Come on now.
Yeah. I can see it. I was trying to. I'm just gonna bring up the Skeletron thing while we're talking.
There we go.
But yeah, so it probably doesn't mean doing new tooling. Now, there are scenarios where we could run into a problem that would require new tooling. So let's say there was something really screwed up, like really badly screwed up, or some sculpted detail that was really, really wrong in a big area, not something small that they could fix. That could require something new. There's also the rare occasion where a tool may break. We don't really have a problem with that at this point, but that was always something to hear about, especially with older tools or tools that have been used a lot to produce a lot of figures. Is they do reach a point where they break or they wear down more often. But at that point, you do get to a point where you have to scrap it and do a new one. But we're not in that area right now.
Yeah. It's when you figure how many times some of those parts for Joe lines 40 years ago for 82 and 83 got reused over and over and over again. You're on one basically boutique line, so you've got some life in those molds.
Yeah, and like even during the 25th Joe line, and I guess into the movie lines, I know that body for what is it, the Pursuit of Cobra Snake Eyes, that has the sweater torso. That thing got reused and reused and reused, and you can look at those and you can see that there's a point where that had to be retooled because the detail started to slip in later releases, and then they retooled it. And if you were doing huge runs, that's something that could come up eventually. You bet.
Jake again asks, who covers the cost of the new tooling, the factory or yourself?
We cover the cost of that. They charge us for that. They cut that tooling, and then we own that tooling until it breaks or whatever we decide to do with it.
Sell it off. Kick it over to those Skeletron guys. Let them worry about it.
Yeah. And while I've got that up on the screen, so one of the things that we've done since the last time I was on, we did go to ZoloCon with the Skeletron guys, and we did have the last variant card back for the Retro Wolf Trooper we did as part of that Robo Skull line. This one that we've got here, it's got artwork by Tim Barron, and it's got different art. It's got Skeletron art on the back, so it's got the Wolf Trooper on the front. It's got the Skeletron Trooper, or the Skeletron on the back. The figure itself is no different from what the other two releases were. It's the exact same. So it's a good opportunity if you missed out. These are still available on the Skeletron website along with Ghost. Or if you're into, high-end pieces or awesome art or just collecting all the variants of card backs, it's a good opportunity for that too.
If I had more Ghost Troopers coming my way, I would be tearing them off in very messy fashion. So
there's nothing wrong with that either.
yeah, collector card backs for me is a bad plan, but on the whole, they look very cool.
Sure.
Josiah Alcorn asks, have you decided how you're going to divide your resources and time between Joe Fest and Dallas Joe shows this summer?
We're doing both.
Yeah, you did last year.
Yep. But John and I will be at both shows since they are a week apart.
Okay.
We're pulling the double header.
By John, you're referring to, of course, your partner in this endeavor, the original
Yes.
Johnny Kooks.
Yeah. John Kukovich. He's the other half of Grindstone Toys. So we'll be doing both of those shows. I'm looking forward to the drive from Atlanta, at least to Texarkana, because I want to reenact half of Smokey and the Bandit.
Right.
So I'm stoked about that. But yeah, we're gonna be at both shows. So
Don't forget to load the trunk up with Coors.
that's right.
Which one is going to be Sally Field?
Probably Mikey.
All right.
Yeah.
So are you Bandit or Snowman?
Well, I'll be driving a van load of toys, so I guess I'm probably more like Snowman.
All right.
That's all right. That's the better way to be.
Yeah. Make sure you bring the dog.
Right. You get the dog. You get the Diablo sandwich.
Yeah, so we'll be at both shows. This
That's
is my
where
first
Torpedo
time.
Mike is. He's thinking
He
Diablo
knows.
sandwich.
Yeah, so this is my first time at DFW. I haven't been to that show yet. John was there last year with Mikey. So it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be all showed out by the time those 2 weekends are done. But I always after those summer shows, I need a little bit of like decompression time, like a week after, to just not think about that. And after 2 in a row, I'm definitely going to need that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because there's so much stuff. It's not just the show. Like, it's trying to figure out what we can get in time for the show, getting stuff loaded up, taking stuff. Like, it's a lot of prep to get ready for the show. So it's always, once it's over, it's like it finally all catches up with you.
Right. And then just to do 2 of them back to back like that, that's special. That's packing once or packing twice, then unpacking once, and then repacking and unpacking again, and then that's a whole other logistic nightmare.
Yeah, so we're gonna see how that goes.
But Doug Dello's there with you. He's just get on I-20 and cruise.
Yep.
You have to go a little out of your way to hit Texarkana, but that's fine. Anything for that smooth, and I'm using the air quotes there, Coors taste. Oh. You're in Colorado, Troy. You got to drink that crap all the time.
Like growing up, like it was like, why were they going for Coors?
Because you couldn't get it east.
I know. Later on, I understood that, but as a kid,
I mean, less than a decade later, that whole point of the movie's moot. But
for Coors, no less. It's one of the few beers out there you got to pick your teeth afterwards. But we've got some time if anybody has questions for Troy in regards to.
I'll try to answer them as evasively as possible without giving too much detail, because that's what I do.
Right. That's your job. You're the manufacturer now. Yeah. You're on the man side of things now, Troy. Yeah. Good luck. Way to go, sellout.
What'll really help is if you start like sweating and smoking like Martin Short on those 60 Minutes parodies.
It's him, isn't it?
I should mention too that we're also working on issue 2 of the Longbow comic, which we had hoped would have been a little further along at this point, but we're still cranking along on that. So that's we've completed all of the with the publisher. They've completed all of the I guess pencils. It's digital art, so they're not really drawing it with pencils, but the line art's done, and Nick is doing the coloring. Nick from Broken Icon. So we got the first couple of pages of that, which we shared in our update on Monday. And we do an update for our backers that's available publicly, either on the Kickstarter or on the backer kit sites, the last day of every month. So at any time that we have news, that's the first place we're going to share it. Is on that update. So and it we post it to the Kickstarter and then it pulls over to the backer kit. So
Beta Ray Bob asks, will you have the figure stand packs for sale at Joe Fest again this year?
yeah, we'll probably have some. That's the plan. We'll have that, and we'll have Ghost, and we'll have Prince again, and we'll see. We may have. I don't think we're going to have the other 6 figures with the revisions, but we may still have some of the issue 1 comics left, although we're running low on those. So I don't know how many of those we'll bring, but yeah, we'll have some battle stands.
So I understanding too that you've just gotten test shots in the last few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So full production figures by the time the summer shows rolls around, that's a tight window.
Yeah, that I don't think that's going to happen. Our factory has a number of other projects for other people that they're trying to get done before Joe Fest.
Right.
And where we're at, realistically, I don't think we're going to have anything new as far as production by Joe Fest. What we're going through with the revisions on the tooling, we will also go through a version of that with paint and deco too. So we got to get this piece done. We've got to get samples that are correct, and then we will go through it with paint as well to make sure that things are correct. We've done a little bit of that. So when they sent these first shots, they also sent a set of some of the colors of plastic that we're going to be using. So plastic samples, chips is what we call them, in the colors that they were planning on using or that they were having us check. And some of those were right on, and we said, yes, let's use these colors. Some of them, again, we were like, no, this isn't quite the right color, send it back. So we'll do a round of that with paint too. Although that, if there's a problem with paint and we tell them to fix it, that doesn't take as long as modifying steel tooling, right? Because the tooling department has to pull over the steel tool. They have to make modifications to it. Paint, it's like, it's not quite the right shade of red. They find a better shade of red. Like it's not, it's still another round of revisions, but it's not as time consuming.
Right. Not nearly so involved.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you were going to ballpark it, end of the year?
I am hoping we have all 10 of the remaining figures by the end of the year. I would really like that. And like I said, our factory is working on projects for a couple other people for Joe Fest. I get that. Once that's over, I'd really like them to hit the ground running,
right,
and get moving. So these 6 figures come out of one set of tools, and then the other 4 figures have another, essentially 3 sets of tools that have to come out with that. We've already gotten some of the parts for some of those figures, but not whole figures, right? So I'm hoping that once we get past this 6, the next 4 will come fairly quickly. So it's just a matter of what happens at the factory level.
Excellent.
But again, we're pushing, but at the same time, we want to make sure things are right. We don't want to rush anything, even when it's our turn to get something made. We want to make sure it's right before they spend the time and money, because that's where it can get really expensive. Is if something gets produced that's not right, you then either have to make the decision of it either goes out incorrect, which I'm not okay with, or you have to pay to get it fixed.
Right.
So we'd much rather take the time and make sure it's right before we run production.
Yeah, it's all measure twice, cut once.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Josiah Alcorn asks, Delta 17 in the Navy, Legends of the Hidden Temple, etc. Who are you looking forward to having Call Sign Longbow interact with the most?
I've already got the Delta 17 and the In the Navy figures. The Legends of the Hidden Force ones aren't out yet, but I've got some of those. I tend to think, or I guess gravitate towards the Delta 17 stuff only because we're playing in kind of similar themes. You know, they've got a Russian faction that pairs up really nice, I think, with some of our characters. So those, even though they're set in different time frames, I feel like they kind of jive the best out of those. But I'm looking forward to all of them. I mean, I love O-Ring. You know, I'm looking forward to the Super 7 stuff. You know, that's what gets me excited. I still get excited when I go to a show and there's weird Rimco figures I've never seen before. Like that gets me more excited than anything. It's like, what is this? You know? So
you know, you mentioned the Super 7 stuff. I just want to take a quick moment and note that, you know, it's a character that I don't care about, but really the big winner of Super 7's G.I. Joe offerings to this point has been the Fatal Fluffy.
That's a different one.
You know, but it is spot on. It is awesome.
Absolutely. And it's got those bigger proportions. You know, and a very animated look to it. It's cool.
Yeah. I just, again, needed to take a moment to at least give credit where credit's due on a line that I'm kind of hit or miss with. I was not expecting to care about the Fatal Fluffy at all, and now I have to rethink that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I may be in for
that wasn't one of the characters you were most looking forward to.
Yeah, not at all. Not in the least.
But
like it's one of those where
charm captured.
Yeah, I didn't mind it in the show, right? Because it's whatever. It's the cartoon. But seeing him like it is the best representation of what we saw on screen out of everything they've got in that line so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the colors were real good on that figure. The other one, the big gladiator guy whose name escapes me at the moment.
Ramar.
Yeah. I thought the Fatal Fluffy, the colors were far superior on that one. Like that one really did feel like kind of that representation of what I remember from the cartoon when I was a kid, right?
Right.
And I feel like that was the standout between those two. But yeah, it's great.
Yeah, agreed. I was again, I was kind of looking forward to Ramar, and he kind of left me cold. But man, Fatal Fluffy, he's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
But Bart's all, but I want it now. we all do, Bart. We all do.
Believe me, you don't want it now as much as I do.
Right.
If it were entirely up to me, we'd have had these.
Cooter's Garage is still waiting on B.A. Lacar. I'm with you there, man. I'd be in for B.A. Lacar. No question. One of the standouts of season 2. But
I just want to see these figures interact with, you know, early 80s Mego, Bo and Luke Duke.
So Troy, when Wave 1 finally comes to pass, we'll say end of 2025. It's January 1, 2026. What are we looking forward to with Wave 2?
So here's the thing. We have continued to work on future product. I want to say that right up front. We've continued to design figures. We've continued to have new items sculpted. We've had Doug Hart paint new art for new characters. That process has continued. We made the decision, though, that we were not going to share a lot of what we had upcoming. Partially because, one, like we don't want to be promising a bunch of stuff until we get the Kickstarter items out first, right? Because we feel
absolutely.
like we owe that to the backers.
Yeah, totally get that.
The other part of that is that part of the reason why I wanted to do this line and why, you know, John kind of came along with me and, you know, I remember when I was a kid and you'd walk into the store and new Joes that you had never seen before were on the peg. And The first thing you do, you pull that thing off the peg, you flip it over, you're looking at the cross-sell on the back, you're looking for all the new characters. And this was pre-internet, and it was all of a sudden, here were new characters, and it was amazing, right? Like that, I tell everybody, that is the high I have been chasing my entire adult life, right? that is what I love. I would really like us, if I could do everything the way I want, right? And there were no other considerations. I would really love in the future to just make an announcement that we're dropping, these are available, and this is who they are, right? That we've done no preview for. Just here's new product, because I want to try and recreate as much of that feeling as I can. I don't know that we can really do that in the long term, but we're going to play things real close to the vest on future offerings with that in mind, because I would like to share that with all of you. I can't have that high, but I would like to get you all hooked on that. So
what you can do is just design all those cool little explosion boxes with the coming soon.
Yeah. And we did a little bit of that on the back of the battle stands for the guys we didn't have art for at that point. Yeah. So, but I do want everybody to know work has continued. We're always developing new stuff. We're always working on things. Longbow things, other things. That we're not ready to talk about, but we're always working, even when things are slow and we don't have news. It's not that we haven't done things. It's just that we don't have anything we can tell you about yet.
Right. And Bart's going to be that guy.
I would love to do vehicles, but we're going to make sure we get figures out and we've got that stabilized. We also want to do figures more often. The rate that we've gotten these done in is not optimal, to say the least. We want to speed that up, and we're thinking we've got some ways to do that. So, but like I said, we want to get through this first round of stuff. We want to make sure we get stuff delivered for everybody before we start announcing anything else.
Right. I mean, look, all of you guys have done an admirable job, considering the entire supply chain had to reset in real time for you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think folks truly understand what a mess COVID left the world in for several years afterwards. Like, just because life had kind of gotten back to normal, say, end of 2021, shipping and manufacturing was pretty much playing it by ear for another good 2 years after that, and then some.
Mm-hmm.
So, I feel for all of you guys who there's and we're all kind of out of the same kernel of dudes who would get together at JoeCon every year. But you guys who all got into the toy business, man, that was a hell of a time to get into the toy business.
It was, but it's one of those things. It just came down to, it's either now or never. If you wait for everything to fall into place, you're never going to get it done. Right. At some point, you just have to pull the trigger. You just have to move forward. And that, is kind of where we were at when we launched, because we had worked on Longbow for a number of years before we launched that Kickstarter. And we were kind of at the point where it's like, we got to move forward on this, or we're never going to get it off the ground. So.
Jake Rose, not to get political, but will tariffs affect future or current endeavors?
That's hard to be seen. We're not expecting anything major right now, but I mean, we don't know when we're actually going to have the product. So who knows what things are going to look like when we have that. And that's the thing. If I was getting ready to ship stuff in the next couple of weeks, I might be thinking about it more, but right now, it is what it is. And we're just going to focus on getting the product around first.
You, as a teacher of mine said back in my college days, and it was the seminal moment of my education life. you can control what you can control, and don't worry about the rest.
Yep, exactly. I got much more important things to worry about, like the shade of red, the shade of green,
Right.
Making sure that those things are right.
The number of different
fix.
the number of different repaints you're going to do of the tracksuit guy.
Yeah. What color comes next?
I need the entire rainbow gamut. I need all 7.
Yeah. So yeah, and as a designer, I'm real focused on that kind of stuff. So that, like you said, you worry about the things that you can control, and the things that you can't control, you deal with as they come. So
right. So we'll let you off the hook with that, Troy.
Yeah.
Let's we do have some letters from the folks at home. So you're here for an infamous post sock episode.
They're posting socken.
Der posten socken. So real quick, let's get into the old post sock real quick. We're so short on time. Like I apologize. I know I'm sitting over here, I'm like suppressing yawns and stuff. It's because I was really fired up when that storm was rolling through. And now there's just a little bit of come down. There's nothing but water in my cup tonight. So my last drink on earth was almost ice water. How terrible is that? Staring imminent death in the face, and I can't even have anything with proof. No, it's ice water.
He died as he lived, blandly.
Bland and cold. Anyways. Oh, God. First letter. Hi, Mike and Rob. I really want to thank you for such a wonderful show. I look forward to every episode. I catch the audio version. I have to say it's the best. You guys bring joy and peace to this hectic world and my mind. Please keep up the great and wonderful work. Best, from Will Bell.
Oh, thank you, Will.
Right, former guest host Will Bell. But we appreciate it, Will. We don't have any real plans on going anywhere. Needed a little bit of vacation just to get some things settled down earlier this year, but that's going to be the exception rather than the norm. Lord knows if there's another hiatus, though. I can't promise anything. We kept putting out some shows through the last one when there was absolutely no G.I. Joe news, absolutely no G.I. Joe product. That was difficult. Granted, it'll be a little bit easier this time around just because we're doing video stuff now. But yeah, that was rough. I wouldn't necessarily expect us to continue if there's a hiatus, but there doesn't seem to be anything like that coming anytime soon. So we appreciate you, man. We know you. You went through a lot. You took us all over the world with you through your headphones. We're glad you're still glad you're home safe and still enjoying us when we get together and do this silliness every week. Our friend Vagon from the live chat likes to say, as Mike takes a drink, don't forget to like, share, and come back and comment on the replay. Hashtag promote the damn show. That's right. Do all that cool YouTube stuff while you're out there. Next letter. Hey, guys. Thought I would share a couple cool things I got in recently. I just got the 3-foot prints of the Connecting G.I. Joe covers by Jamie Sullivan back from the Frame Shop. The class of 82 and 83, and the entire G.I. Joe and Cobra teams. Also, please remember Jamie Sullivan's, it's not a Kickstarter, it's a GoFundMe to save his foot. I should get a link for that up in the description again. I'm adding a Star Wars pick of the Imperial Forestry Service I got framed. I bought it about a month after my dad passed, and he was career Forest Service. Well, sorry to hear that, Jake. But glad you found something to help remember him by. That is from our man, Jake Rose, who is over in the live chat tonight as well. Joe ARAH, Mike says, slow news day, fire up harp. It's tornado time. Woo!
Let's play Twister.
Right. And we got some pictures. There is the class of 82 and the class of 83 from Jamie Sullivan, fresh from the Frame Shop. Nice work on the framing too. That really Nice presentation there. And there is the big team shots. It's a little more difficult to tell what's going on in this one.
A lot of guys.
A lot of dudes. Keep in mind too, once the show's done, we'll try and get all these pictures up on our social media as well, just so you don't have to try and squint through the replay to figure out what's going on. So don't stress too much. But I did want to make sure we got them on the program itself so that you could at least enjoy what Jake and others took the time to share with us. And then here's the one for the Imperial Forestry Service. Join today. No accuracy requirement. No, you don't have to be certified anything with that blaster. You just got to know to pull the trigger and make it work.
You get to hang out on speeder bikes.
Tell it if that's not worth it. Jake notes, Jamie, did the Imperial Forest Service also? Yes, that is also available. Or was available. I don't know if it is now. I haven't been over his website in a few days. So, but be sure to check out Jamie Sullivan. He's got his social media. He's on Facebook. That's probably where he's most active social media wise. And again, we'll get the link to his GoFundMe in the description down below once the show's done tonight. Troy, remind me to do that.
Yep.
But next letter. Hello, love the show. This is a custom I made recently for myself and a few friends. The Thrasher figure was released directly in my transition from G.I. Joe into skateboarding. I imagined he was wearing a cut-off Thrasher magazine shirt under those pads and armor. I eventually had to make it a reality. I illustrated the art for everything. He had a new torso made. Custom bubble, skateboard, edited the file card, and assembled it all. Just wanted to share. I feel like you guys might get some enjoyment out of these photos. This is from Todd Brattrud. I hope I pronounced that right. But Todd he sent more pictures of this. And again, I'll get these up on our social media once we're done here tonight, but it wasn't worth making everybody squint at everything here. But this is really great work. I got the close-up of Thrasher with the T-shirt there, which looks pretty good. He's got a lot to explain with those armored shoulder pads with the T-shirt, but that's fine. Xandar and Zarana have that shirtless, or Xandar has that shirtless with shoulder pads thing going. Zarana's got the sleeveless thing with the arm pad. So, it works in G.I. Joe land. And there you can see the card art in the other shot there, and it's really pretty great. Yeah. Can't beat that, man. It's got the skateboard in the bubble up top. There's a little Thrasher magazine in the big bubble with the figure. Like I said, we'll get the rest of these photos up on our Facebook, Instagram, Bluesky outlets once we're done here tonight. But this is really some great work from Todd. So Todd, I don't know if you're in the live chat or you're going to catch us on replay, but thanks for sharing, man. We appreciate it. And keep them coming, man. If you got more stuff going, this is really, it's I'm blown away. It's phenomenal. Troy, you design toys. You like it?
Yeah. I love how crisp the Thrasher logo is there.
It came out really.
Yeah, it came out really nice.
I wonder if it's paint or if he did the slide decal.
Yeah. Well, slide decals are at least when I was still doing that, I always had trouble with white. So that in particular is interesting on there. But I was using, just the regular tester sheets, and you had to either do it with the white material, or you had to do it with clear material, but you couldn't print in white. So, that looks really good.
Everything you said that last little bit there, Troy, I have no idea what you were talking about there.
That's okay.
All right. No idea.
Anybody who's tried to print their own decals knows.
Right. I am like the honcho in that it is not a lazy bastard custom. I got nothing to do with it. Oh, there's Todd in the live chat. Oh, I missed his thing there. Thank you, Todd. We appreciate you sharing with us and passed along that it's a slide. So there you go. There you go, Troy. Are you
Awesome.
even more impressed now?
I am.
And Phil's in live chat being a Mr. Know-It-All. Home printers can't print white, so you can't make white decals normally. Just like Troy Troy just said, Phil.
Yeah.
Way to be there, Johnny on the spot. Phil's never coming on the show again, is he? He's just at home fighting back the tears, writing me a sternly worded email.
He's on the 405.
He probably.
This is jammed.
Probably. And then we've got, I think, one more letter tonight. Oh, no, we don't. Never mind.
We got nothing.
We got no more. We got no more letters. No more. Is that it? Yeah, I guess that's it. I guess we had 4 of them. How many more do I expect? Ooh, that's an old slide. What's that doing here? All right. Let me get that out of here. Phil says, no, he's at home enjoying the clear skies and lack of tornado warnings. That's the place to be, man. That is the place to be. So we got some time tonight. Troy McKee, you're the guest here. We're gonna play a little What We Got In. You got anything handy that you picked up recently?
Oh, I don't.
That's
I haven't bought much recently. At least not anything interesting.
This is what happens to you when you make your own toy line, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
People send you toys, but it's all work.
Yeah, it's
They're really expensive.
yeah. They cost a lot more than you're used to.
Whatever you think expensive is, Troy paid more for his.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. See, exactly. Troy just spent the last hour showing what he got in recently.
Pretty much.
I don't know if it was an hour, man. I think you're giving Phil a little too much content credit there. Or giving Troy a little too much content credit. I don't know if he was quite up to an hour's worth of material. This is the man who did the 47-minute show with Mark Webber, after all.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me the opportunity again. We'll get it under 30.
Well, you gotta. We don't have Mark to slow you down. You just be there with Rob, who's content to sit there and let you just hammer through your slideshow and be out and gone.
Speed, low drag, baby.
Yeah.
I'd
be like, hey, I got to work in the morning.
Yeah, like the dumb part of it is that 25-minute show will probably be the one that gets the most views ever. Most of the time, folks look at the timestamp. 2 hours. What's this guy talking about? What is his problem? Anyway. So, Ragtime Rob, you got anything handy that you got in? I know he does. He always does. Not the comics. We already know about that.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. All right. You be that way.
I'm sorry.
You be that way. I got a couple of little things. I did get my box from In the Navy. I showed the box off last week. I hadn't opened it yet.
It was an exciting cardboard.
Right. I had a chance to go through some of them. I went through all the figures, just didn't get a chance to play with them too much. Last week wound up being busier than I expected. But these are great little figures. I don't know if you guys are in on the heavy armor toys. But they're real. They have a good feel to them. You know, sometimes you get the O-ring figures, and I don't want to name names, but some of the folks who've made them in recent years, they've been kind of lightweight and cheap, and these guys don't have that problem. There's some real bulk to them. There's some mass. They feel well put together. They're sturdy, like they could get played with. You know.
Mm-hmm.
They feel like toys. They don't feel like collectibles, and it sounds like such a no duh statement to make, but man, after all this time, if part of my money is spent on buying figures that are reaching middle age themselves, I want to make sure that if I'm buying new stuff, it feels like it's going to be around for 40 years too.
Mhm.
And God forbid I won't be around for 40 of those years. But these heavy armor in the Navy toys, they certainly do feel like that. So job well done, Josh Dolner and team at Heavy Armor Toys. These guys are great. I would say if there's one thing, that hip construction's a little weird. Or I shouldn't say construction. The construction it's an O-ring figure. But the fit's a little weird on some of the hips on some of these guys. But you guys will get that worked out. It may just be that I have to play with them some more so that O-ring starts to relax a little bit. They have a little bit of that new toy feel to them. So
yeah, it's that awkward thing where as a collector you don't want to work it too much, but at the same time you gotta work it a little bit to get the joints broken in. And
right.
Yeah, the first time you open a figure and you have to move all the joints just to make sure that they're
right.
that they move, but at the same time it's like, oh, it's never gonna be that tight again.
But Road Pig John says he's getting Village People vibes from the In the Navy name, and I can't get his comment on the screen, but there it is. There it was. There it is. There we go. I don't know what the heck's going on there, StreamYard.
StreamYard, an open rebellion.
Right. So we'll get that. Cooter's Garage asking, what's the current count on Beach Party 86? And I have to give you the honest answer. I have to stop and count. So I don't actually know. You'd have thought that being gone for 2 months would give me the opportunity to get things organized in that regard. That was just not far enough up on the list because I figured they ain't going anywhere. So I have to finish kind of counting, if that helps at all. We do have a couple of videos of me unboxing some of those bitches. So go watch those because Lord knows nobody else has. And I'll have a I'll have a complete count coming up sometime soon. Jeff Butler says, now that I have these sailor figures, I can have them with Shipwreck to finally act out the last detail of figures. You know, that's truly an admirable effort there. What else could we possibly hope to do with our army of
your army of Navy figures?
Our army of Navy.
Firefly has some comments concerning the torsos up there.
There was a tornado that went by outside. It was just a little bit ago. Yeah, Firefly says they're setting out new torsos to fix it. Yeah, I know. But they really didn't miss by much. So I don't want to make it sound like it's more than it is. And that's great that they're doing that to fix what is it's really kind of a small problem. So again, high marks for the folks over at Heavy Armor Toys. Great job, especially for a first wave. That's in hand. Do you feel jealous of that, Troy?
Actually, I did get a few of those in. I don't have them here with me at the moment, but I did get a couple of those. I'm a little bit jealous, yes, that those are good.
I'm gonna have Ghost kick their ass and make you feel a little better. And that's no offense to our fighting Navy, but Ghost is a name character, so he gets the win.
That's true.
He gets the win. It's like wrestling when the local enhancement talent shows up, it gets no intro, barely gets his name on the bottom of the screen. You know that guy's going down, and he's going down quick. That's what the sailor is to Ghost. Ghost has an intro with pyro. He stops and signs autographs on his way down to the ring. He's the real deal. That's what happens.
We do have that awesome video of him even to play on the screen when he comes down. So
yeah, like Heavy Armor Toys knows that they are giving us the rank and file, so they get it. He understands.
Yeah, it's great to fill that in. People need that. So
right. And then the other thing that I got this past week, I did get a You know, you want to talk about something that's exploded beyond all control. My assortment of Blocky's Transformers figures. That's gotten out of control. And I there too. I took a few pictures at the beginning. I need to take a few more. Firefly asks, "Am I going to have my sailors pat themselves on the back like Barry Horowitz?" You're damn straight I am. But I also was at the local toy shop and managed to pick up a stalker here. And this is the stalker that came with the Transformers Bumblebee, the Awestriker set. I had no desire to have that transforming Awestriker. But Stalker's a top 5 guy for me. So if they're going to sell me the Stalker figure just on its own, I am duty bound to pick that up. I have to. That's mandatory. Price was right. You know, I was expecting there would be a real convenience tax attached to that, but wasn't too bad. But you know, yeah, I'm happy to have a stalker I can safely display on the shelf and not worry about breaking or cracking or doing all that other stuff.
Just disintegrating because the wind blew.
Right. He is you know, like I've got an 83 Flash here on the desk. And one thing I'll say about these Flash toys from 83, sturdy, okay?
Yeah, but that's Stalker. Those, man, you look at them funny.
Yeah, and they
and the crotch are breaking on them. Yeah,
yeah, everything. There was when I lived in St. Louis, I helped one of the guys locally, one of the shop owners. I would help him sort Joe parts, and Stalker was always one of those where like the gloves went out, came on, and the using all the clamps and stuff to hold him very steady as I would take the screws out, and just because it was, if you breathed wrong, that thing was just gonna crack and crumble. So yeah, Stalker's if you have a vintage Stalker at this point, 82 or 83, they just don't hold up anymore. It's almost as bad as the thumbs on Zap. So, Road Pig John asks, Troy, are you Falcone at the His Tank?
I am not.
No. I know who Falcone is at the His Tank, but I don't think they want that information. I don't think they want that information public. But sorry. Jeff Butler says, I bought the 1997 Stalker not long ago. It's such a good look, just different enough from the original design colors. That is one of the few really good figures from that 97 line. That 97 line is full of turds. Full of turds, but Stalker's a great one. But that's all for what we got in. I did add a beachhead, but again, I don't have a count for you, so we'll deal with that when we deal with that. Yeah, I got 4. I got 4 of them. Troy, I got 3 of them on the desk.
And you got one more in. That's
right. There's a couple more in plastic containers on the couch. There's a couple more in plastic containers on that side of the there's a lot going on with this right now.
Okay.
A lot. I have to stop and count. We were gone for a couple of months, man. You think I just didn't do anything? No.
You didn't do nothing.
No, we did quite a bit in those 2 months. Quite a bit. Quite a bit. Let's move into shout outs, man. Troy McKee, who we shouting out to?
I want to shout out my partner at Grindstone, John Kukovich, the original Johnny Kooks.
The original Johnny Kooks.
I want to shout out to the Skeletron crew and the Marauder crew and the folks from ZoloCon for having us at the beginning of March. That was a fun show and not one that I had ever been to before. So it was nice to be able to go to that one.
That was Philadelphia, right?
Yep. Yeah, and a part of the country I don't ever get to on the normal show schedule. So it was cool to do something a little bit different. So that was a lot of fun. So thanks to all them.
It's good that you get out and expose yourself there, Troy. You know, get educated.
I'm always trying to expose myself.
You're a you're a young whippersnapper, Troy. So we gotta let you know that there's other things that go on in the world.
And you don't want us exposing ourselves.
I'm sure that went well. I'm sure that's exactly the impression you wanted to make your first trip out to Zolocon.
Yep.
It's in Philadelphia. They're used to that.
Yeah, they're probably stopping to judge you on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
What you guys should do though is tell them that you need your hype crew with you, and that is of course the team at What's on Joe Mind. You were missing your hype team, which would make the.
It was a little different dynamic because it's not a Joe specific show. It's so much of what we do are Joe specific shows. So it was cool though. So
if for nothing else, we're good targets for children to throw candy at.
Right. That's proven. That's
not hauling that home.
Hey, look, man, it was Snickers. She can throw Snickers at me all she wants.
It was quality candy.
Kid's got an arm on her, Troy. Normally candy, I can pull that out of the air. I played a lot of first base in my day. Candy, no, man, she was humming it. Just had to wait and get hit.
She was pretty excited.
It's rare that's a green light given, I'm sure.
Yeah. She was real excited. She doesn't get to do that anywhere else.
No, that's something that you'll always have on mom, because dad lets her throw candy at all of his friends. Mom doesn't do that.
Yeah. Direct quote: "Light these fools up."
It was Snickers. That's fine.
Yeah, Snickers and Three Musketeers and Milky Ways. Yeah,
we both wear glasses. That's like safety goggles.
I was trying to catch it in my teeth.
Yeah.
He's looking over there again.
Just double checking.
We got something else coming.
No, not us. We're through. Rack time, Rob. Who we shouting out?
Shout out to Troy. Thanks for coming on. And of course to the studio audience who, tuned in to see if they were gonna, will they make it?
Right.
Tune in and find out.
Kind of a small crowd tonight, and I assume that's because they are not fools.
Half the country's under tornado watch.
Yeah, they are in a safe place.
Yeah.
And because we're talking this is a huge deal, right? We're making light of the tornadoes.
Yeah.
Tomorrow when the news is on, there's going to be terrible stories of damage and destruction and potentially loss of life from 9 or 10 states. So
at least.
We're making light. We're making light because we were scared out of our minds, and it's our defense mechanism. Sitting on the very edge of the problem. Like I went to school in Southeast Missouri. Those people are right smack in the middle of it. So I was reading a lot from folks that I've known for years and years and years, dealing with, branches coming through their chimneys and things like that before we got on the air. So this is a big deal. And again, I don't want to make it that we're making fun of that. We're certainly not. But we've got we had our coping mechanisms locked in tonight. That's for certain. As Joe ARH says, Mike looks to his right, certain doom, nods. That checks out.
That checks out.
Yeah, that was about right. So again, if you are in the path of these storms, keep yourself awake, stay safe. Make sure you are taking care of yourself and your family first off. This is YouTube. You can always catch us later. In fact, the folks that are catching us later, you count just as much. We love you just as much. Regardless if you're here now or you're watching us on replay, be sure you do all that cool YouTube stuff for us. It's quick and it's free. Give us a thumbs up to like the video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you've watched more than 10 seconds of this video, that algorithm's already going to recommend us to you for the rest of your life. So you might as well just click the button and subscribe. help us out a little bit. Like I said, it's free. If you think we're so cool that you want to spend money on us, we did add just another coffee backer just this evening. I did not have time to get him into the credits, but that button is down there as well to back us on coffee. You give us with just a $1 donation every month, get your name in the credits. If you want to do more than that, we will take as much as you feel like giving us, frankly. But $1 is all it takes to get in the credits. We'll figure out something at some point for the folks who give more than that. We're never going to do exclusive content because this is hard enough to do that I don't ever want to restrict, the things that I make and the time that I spend to people that spend X amount of dollars. That strikes me as silly. We don't have that kind of a following, but, okay, it's just a plane. But or it's thunder, but not bad thunder. Okay, look, it's been that kind of night. But so again, like, subscribe, coffee if you're able. We appreciate you. If you're catching us on the audio replay, we love you too. There's still a few hundred of you folks out there. Make sure you're stopping over at some point just to come and subscribe to us on YouTube. But if you want to keep listening, that's fine too. We don't care how you enjoy the show, so long as you keep enjoying the show. But again, just take a minute, subscribe to us here on the YouTube so we can get you counted and accounted for. For our wonderful friends and sponsors at Kokomo Toys, real quick, we'll sing the theme song. Kokomo Toys. Kokomo Toys. And one more time, we'll give one final shout to the magnificent bastard who did a whole Tony Gambello shtick at the top. That is a real voicemail that we got. That's not me. That's not anybody I know. I have no idea who left that voicemail message. The voicemail number is down in the description below as well. So if you want to leave us a voicemail, if you don't want to write an email, you want to just call us, we got a number. We have a voicemail set up. It'll leave a recording. I can download it. I can pop it in here. I can't promise you that I'll give you a full, black and white flash artwork treatment, but we'll definitely get you. Like, if you got a real question and you want to ask it instead of type it, that's fine. We'll do it. We'll talk, man. Cujo's in the crowd tonight. What's on your mind? But there we go. Yeah, Joe ARH says tomorrow's algorithm already warming up with an endless stream of tornado documentaries. I should probably get to work on that new thumbnail tonight, then.
Or clips from Twister,
Right, might as well. I mean, next week's guest will be the cow from Twister. That's right, the CGI cow.
The paper mache cow. They just put.
Oh. Yeah. Again, that adrenaline bit. That's no joke, folks. I'm really. It sounded like the hellmouth itself had opened up just behind that window. It was. We were a little stressed out. I'm out here like some kind of dickweed on a podcast about G.I. Joe. We'll laugh about it someday.
Yeah.
Man, did I feel dumb at the time. Hey, you know what? That's what we got this week. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll be back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. for another episode of What's on Joe Mind. I'll be here. Rob will be here. Troy probably isn't going to be here.
Nah.
Troy's busy.
Troy's got stuff to do. He doesn't have another update due for another 4 weeks. So Troy's radio silent for a month.
Hey, there we go. We could get Jim Cantor.
Right. Next week's guest, Jim Cantor. That's the ultimate bad sign, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jim Cantor is in your town. That's a terrible, leave town. Leave
two
town
signs,
immediately.
2 signs where it's time to leave. Waffle House closes and Jim Cantor shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Waffle House don't close for nothing. And that's still more likely to happen than you surviving a Jim Cantor sighting.
Yeah.
What's it like when he goes on vacation?
Oh my God!
Aren't you Jim Cantor? Well, yes. I gotta go.
God help you if you're taking a cruise with Jim Cantor. It's just
Oh,
gonna end up with Gilligan and the skipper.
as our friend Vagon likes to say, stay safe, and if you can't, be careful. Be sure to join us again next Wednesday at 9 p.m. for another episode of What's on Joe Mind. Have a great rest of the week, everybody. And yo, Joe.